The word on the street is that Rey's movie, everybody's calling it Rey's movie. It's supposed to be the beginning of the new trilogy. The next step for Star Wars
Yep.
has been halted.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
Well, I think some
You know?
people, some people, if you've been following, like, first of all, kudos to you if you've watched every episode that we've done and you've actually followed our takes on Rey, because I'm sure some people out there will stumble upon this and automatically think that me and Jimmy don't like Rey, when we've expressed many times that we actually both really do like Rey.
Love Rey.
It was the writing that we really didn't like.
Yep.
And yeah, the writing for the stories just weren't really that good. But Rey as a character, I actually think can be redeemed. But here is the problem for me. The director that they have for the movie, I don't think should be directing that movie.
Okay. Well, that's
So
a big problem.
it's a big thing. And maybe, and this report is coming from the insider Daniel RPK, who has been on like a pretty good hot streak recently. Like for Deadpool and Wolverine, for those who follow my Cosmic Wonder channel, like we've already tallied up the things he got right versus the things he didn't. And I think the things he didn't get right were things they actually changed in the movie, like how the post-credit scene was supposed to be Avengers. They changed it. He's not wrong. They just changed it, right? So he had a really good track record. Now he's saying that it's postponed. He's not saying that it's canceled, but it's postponed so they can work on it more. And I think they should, because when they announced that the director was going to be Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, I dove deep and I was like, who is she? And in all of my stuff that I came upon, I was just like, she has like zero credentials to be a directing one of the probably the biggest franchise in the world. Like, what are the qualifications for her? She doesn't really have that many.
Not
And a
just the
lot of
biggest
people,
franchise in the world, the biggest next step for the franchise. There's
right?
something to be said
And
about the Disney
it
Plus
matters.
series and the one and done movies, but
Mhm.
you're messing with the trilogy. You're messing with the next trilogy.
The
Like,
next step, like you said, I think you said steps of Star
yeah, it's
Wars. Like it
huge.
matters
Huge.
a lot, like a lot,
Yeah.
because I kind of think right now, excuse me, I think right now that a lot of people might be in a position of where it's like, if there's a few more misses with Star Wars, it's really going to deflate them, right? Do I think there will be a point where, like, for me, it's like, yeah, there may be a ton of crappy Star Wars, but I'm always going to show up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
We're gonna
Like, oh,
consume it.
right. But there are some people that might really just be like, I'm done with it. And, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy has expressed like, oh, we're going to make it to where the future of Star Wars is, a woman. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't care if it's a woman, but why is that your focus?
Yeah.
Make it about good writing, good characters, right? And I don't care if that's a woman or if it's a man. I don't care, but I want the focus to be on just telling a good story and developing really, really good characters.
So when was the release date? The original release date. Do you know?
I think it was supposed to be, it was like a loosely based release date of like the end of 2026, I think. I'm not sure if we ever got an official release date for it.
Okay, that's a long time away before it's even postponed, to be honest with you. So, the first question that comes to mind for me, and I know I'm not going to be alone with this, are the brakes being pumped because of what happened with the Acolyte?
So
Because of
that
the
is
fallout?
right. That was my original thought as well. I mean, and whether you're on I love the Acolyte side or I hated the Acolyte side, that I think that really comes to mind for most people,
Yeah,
because I mean, what did we talk about one podcast? They're like purging it from existence almost,
basically.
right? They took all the toys away and stuff
Mhm.
like that. They willowed it, right? So
Well, it hasn't stopped
just
there. There's, and we're not going to get into it on this podcast, but there is literally a civil war going on in the fandom.
oh
And
gosh,
it all derives from the Acolyte. I mean, you have the YouTubers that petition the other
right,
YouTubers to be
right.
deplatformed.
Star Wars theory, yeah,
That's ongoing. That's like huge. And I'm wondering if Star Wars, the IP, actually noticed and they're
sees
like
it,
looking at
yeah.
it and they're like, okay, maybe we should rethink our strategy on what we're pushing and what our agendas are. Or maybe we're just focus on, like you said, making a good story and good writing, whether it's a woman or a man. Who cares?
Who cares,
Well, you and me
right?
don't care, but
I'm sure there are people out there who care, but it's like that whole thing, with those certain YouTubers, and I watch a few of those Star Wars YouTubers, and all they did was voice their opinion, and none of them said, well, I think there was one of there who said something mildly racist, and I don't know that specific one, but most of the ones that I watch were just like, no, it's a crap show,
Yeah.
and automatically we're called
A
racist.
couple of them get
because-
edgy.
Yeah.
They get edgy with how they do it, and some people don't like to digest that content, and I fully understand that. But I dove into it, and I watched a lot of it, and I didn't see anything other than them giving their critiques on the show, even to the point where the main ones, like Theory and the Geek and whatever guy's name, I don't know, they would even say, I don't have a problem with the actor of Rostika. I have a problem with the character.
Right. And then, but even going a little bit further about that, like, saying that the actress isn't very good, that's like valid thing to say.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
once again, critique is part of
Right.
it. When you're a public figure, especially an actor or actress, your job
That's
is to go
part
out
of
and
it.
act. So there's going to be people that critique you in a positive or a negative light. But the thing for
Right.
me, and hey, we're talking about it. I draw the line when you try to deplatform somebody for that doesn't
It's
have the same
stupid.
view as you.
Right. It's just you're just
Ooh.
being it's just childish.
I'm not going to go into the story, but would you believe that the two people that were a big part of that on the wrong side? I was on I was on a bus with them, sitting right next to them, not a month and a half ago.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I should.
I don't know them.
I should jump on it, huh?
Yeah, you should add to.
I've got tea. I've got lots of tea. Anyway,
I
like
some
Ray
tea too, but I keep quiet.
We're not going to be a tea podcast.
Yeah, no. I like Ray, and I
like Ray.
I'm still very concerned because of the director, because I'm like, we've talked about this for Marvel too, for DC. Like DC has James Gunn and Peter Safran right now, and like we know they care so much. We know they know the source material so much. That's like the dream job for them, but it's like that's not how it is for this director. They don't really know that much. They don't really have qualifications, because James Gunn, Guardians franchise, like holy crap.
Yeah.
Right? Superhero movies, experience, blah, 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 blah. Like,
that's what
this
people
is
are worried
Star
about.
Wars.
This
is Star Wars.
You have somebody coming in that doesn't have a tenured background with it, and then their first thing out of their mouth is, well, I want to empower the woman. I want to. It's just
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry. Like, I know there are a lot of female Star Wars fans, but I still believe the majority of Star Wars fans are men.
I don't know.
It's like,
I don't know.
It's totally different now, right? Whereas before, I would say like a vast majority of the fandom was men. I know a ton of female Star Wars fans, but
I think true Star Wars fans just want a good story, and they'll gravitate toward it and connect to whoever that character is.
Well, and to me, it's like, I mean, y'all realize how big Leia was, right? Like important to the story was, right? Same thing with like Padme, right? It's like, what are you talking about? There have been crazy awesome female characters in Star Wars, and Ahsoka, right? I mean,
Rogue One
was fantastic.
I mean, come on. Well, for me, I never even thought about, that should have been a guy in Rogue One. It didn't even come to my mind.
No,
I was just like, this is a really, really good movie. All right, well,
and that's the thing, is if someone is written and directed properly, no one in their right mind should care. There are extremes on both sides, obviously, right? We can't deny that. And some people are racist and sexist and blah, 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 blah. But I think they're the minority. And I think most people, as long as a good story is there, are fine with whatever.
They're going to be happy.